I will be going over the very basics on combat in this video. To start, your character should always eat something before entering combat. Not eating won't cause any problems, like for example you cannot starve to death or get ill. But you just won't regain any power or health passively. There are 3 different types of food: meals, snacks, and instant heal foods. Meals and snacks count as foods that stop hunger. One can be eaten to sate the hunger, or both can be eaten at the same time, which is optimal for the max amount of recovery. Instant heal foods act similarly to potions. Most are eaten instantly, but there are a few requiring you to channel before eating, which can be interrupted once hit. Now for combat, we'll start with gaining EXP. EXP is determined by the level of the mobs. While we are currently unable to tell the exact level of a mob, it can be generalized by where it's located and how strong it is. For example, the skeleton I am about to fight would be considered level 1, because it only has 15 HP and is located at Noob Island. You will gain EXP with said skill 60 seconds after it being used, meaning if you use slash and punch, for the next 60 seconds those 2 skills gain EXP in sword and unarmed, on any kill. However, if you kill a mob in 2 hits, say you use slash and punch killed the enemy, that means you will only gain EXP in sword, but for the next 60 seconds after that you will gain EXP in both skills. Next is armor. Since this is a basic guide, I will only go over the very basics. There are many different types of armors in this game. But for the sake of this video we will only go over the general stats. To start, armor. Armor is shared with your health, whenever you take damage. As long as it's not direct HP damage. Otherwise damage will be split 50-50 with armor and health, meaning if you take 10 damage, 5 health will be damaged, and 5 armor will be damaged. Health and armor recover differently. Meaning if you overheal, it will not then bleed into armor healing, they must be recovered by different means, for example a health potion, and an armor potion. Next is combat refresh. Every 15 seconds you will be able to recover when using a basic attack. The amount recovered is based off of what type of armor you use, and how strong it is. For example, cloth armor has predominantly power recovery, leather having health and power, and metal armor having armor recovery. You will know when another recovery is available, because your basic attack will then flash the blue wing icon. Finally, the most important, mods. Mods act as a passive ability to your current abilities, with a few exceptions, such as mods that just give flat stats like health, which are just considered general stats. Mods can be changed later on, same with the ability to add another mod on top of the ones your gear currently possesses. Gear quality goes in this order: white, green, blue, red, purple, yellow, and max enchanted yellow. White has no mods, green has 1, blue has 2, red has 3, purple has 4, and yellow has 5. Max enchanted equipment possesses 1 more mod than it otherwise would have. Meaning the highest amount of mods you can have at any one time is 6. That is until you augment a 7th on. I will go into detail on this in a later video. You will know when you're in combat in 3 ways. 1. You will see a sword icon in your buff bar. 2. Being your character will start running as if he broke his hip. And finally, when moving you will notice your power draining if you are not walking. Next is vulnerability. If you noticed, the skeleton has a red icon above its head flashing, that means it is currently vulnerable. This has no meaning. Unless you have an ability that can capitalize off of vulnerable targets, for example knee kick. This acts as a bonus to an otherwise basic ability. Vulnerable bonused abilities tend to be subpar, but if used at the right moment can become some of your most valued abilities. Now to go back to EXP again. Later on you will learn 4 abilities: First Aid, Armor Patching, Survival Instincts, and Sigil Scripting. Once used, you have the same 60-second window that your combat skills have to gain EXP. Meaning you can activate all at once, and get collectively EXP in all 4, including your combat skills, and endurance. A small note on endurance: EXP is gained based off of how much armor damage you take, and what level your target was. The EXP gained cannot exceed the same amount of EXP you gain in combat skills. So for example, if the mob gives 10 EXP in unarmed, the most endurance EXP you can get is 10. The final tip I'm going to give is for walking. I believe the default key is shift, but when held, your character will begin to walk. The only use for this currently is to not use power when moving in combat. This is dire early on, for power is very stingy, especially if you're a melee class chasing a ranged mob. So make sure to keep on walking and let the haters hate.